Bore da, good morning, or Pnawn da, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Hello. What we're going to do today is something slightly different to normal. We're just going to do 4 really basic and functional exercises for leg strength. So what I'm going to ask you to do is a set of 10 of each. And as the sessions go on, if leg strength is what you're after, you could build up to 2 sets of 10 with a little bit of recovery in between, eventually building up to 3 sets of 10. So it's a really nice little session to do. It won't take long, but you do need to have warmed up beforehand, otherwise you could injure yourself. So I've got some equipment for this. I've basically got a dining chair, I've got a step, and I've got the wall for support. But if you don't have a step or you don't have a chair, you can improvise. You don't have to have them. So are we ready? We're going to start with our squats. Now this is for your thigh muscles, the back, the front, and the big gluteus maximus muscles. So I've got my dining chair here. I'm going to stand with my feet quite close to the chair. I've got the chair just gently brushing the backs of my legs. I'm going to look straight ahead, and as if I'm about to sit down in the chair, okay, as if I'm going to sit down, I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to push into my heels and come back up. So, shall we do 10 together? If 2 or 3 is enough for you, all right, just stay at that. We can do up to 10. It doesn't have to be 10. Okay, don't forget to breathe, she says. I'm going to move my chair ever so slightly. Now, I'm going to push my arms in front of me for balance. But if you want to make it harder, you can take the arms here. Try not to overarch your back. I can feel myself trying to do that. And only go as low as you feel comfortable. Good. So we're going to do 7 more. So these feet are hip width apart, toes at 12 o'clock. Those knees are bending in line with that big toe. Don't let those knees push over the front of that shoe. I've lost count. Let's do 4 more. Good. Squeeze that bottom on the way up. And good. 2 more. Just sit down or stand if you've had enough. We're going to bring it up. Now, we're just going to recover by moving the feet a little bit so that we don't get dizzy. So that's our thigh muscles. So that exercise is going to be great for going up and down hills, up and down stairs, getting in and out of chairs. The next exercise is going to be for our calf muscles. So I'm going to turn my chair around so you can see me. What we've got here is a little bit of support just in case your balance isn't so good. We've got those feet hip width apart. We are going to stand nice and tall, and we're going to power up onto the balls of the feet, onto tiptoe, and we're going to come all the way back down. Okay? So, if your balance is good, you may find you can let go. You want to focus on a fixed point in the distance, and you're just going to draw that tummy button in gently away from the waistband of your trousers. So we're coming up, pausing at the top, coming all the way back down. So we're coming up, pausing at the top, coming all the way back down. Right, we've got another 5. I've just got something that may make this a little bit more challenging. We got some tins of beans. So if you've got some light dumbbells, it just adds a little bit of extra weight. Okay, and as again, with these sets of 10, we can build that weight slowly as the weeks go on. Good. And again, so I think this is number 10. Again, I'm not the greatest at counting. You might have to ignore me for some of these. Okay, now, what I've got here is a step. So you can get steps of all different shapes and sizes. It may be that you don't have something in your living room or where you're watching this to do this, but I want to show you this so you can do it in your own time. You need to make sure the surface is safe. You need to make sure you've got something that you can hold on to, because we're going to ask you to do this for strength and balance. So we're going to just start with the left foot. We're going to place the whole foot on the step, heel on the step 2. We're going to just make sure we've got that support there. Chest is lifted. We're going to drive up. We're going to come back down. Now I'm going to leave that foot there because I'm going to drive into that heel, straighten through that leg. I'm going to come back down. Good. We're going to push into that heel. So we're really using the strength part of things rather than just banging up and down. Drive up. Good. Let's see if we can drive up and pause at the top. So we're not locking out that knee at the top of the movement, but what we are doing is really making those thigh and bottom muscles work. And again, this is going to help us going up and down hills, in and out of cars, up and down steps, obviously, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So remember, we want that heel on the step. Quite often we go up steps like this, but we want to activate these bottom muscles. Make sure that knee is in line with that big toe or that second toe. Good. And of course, if you don't want to leave the foot there, you can take it down, but just while you're getting used to that, really pushing through the heel, it's just quite simple just to leave it there. Good. Straighten through that leg. Brilliant. Straighten. So you feel these muscles working. So we're aiming for 10 on each side, but remember, it's up to 10 on each side. Good. And we're just going to take 2 more. And 1 more. Breathing out. And again, when you come down, just move those legs a little bit. Even though we're working on strength, the repetitive movement, the big muscles, may mean that you feel sort of slightly breathless. So now, we're going to find something we can hold on to. We're going to keep this really nice strong trunk. We're just going to soften this supporting leg a little bit because we're going to work these muscles here. These little mini muscles that support the pelvis. Okay? And she says, we're going to take some side leg lifts. Now what tends to happen with this is we do this. Alright, so the idea is that sometimes you can use this wall here and just make sure you're not going to lean into it. You can use a chair. So just imagine you're just really long and tall and there's no way of leaning into something. Good. I'm sort of pushing with the outside of this foot rather than sort of turning it out that way. But it doesn't really matter. We're going to do 10 on one leg and then we're going to do 10 on the other. Now I'm going to show you something that you can use to make it more challenging. So some of you will have ankle weights, some of you will have resistance bands. So I'm just going to sit down to put this resistance band around my legs. Okay. Just watch out that you don't fall over on the way back. And then we're going to do the same with the other leg. Now you'll see I'm automatically struggling to get the same range, but I am getting quite a lot of resistance from that band. Good. So I'm just stepping out. Side leg lift. Good. And I'm going to do 10 of those. Hurts. I'm not used to doing this one, to be honest with you. But what we'll find is if we keep these muscles nice and strong, they are really useful for just keeping your joints in line, pelvis, knee. So actually, although you think, what on earth is that doing? Very useful. Okay, so while we've got that band there, I'm going to just tuck this round a little bit so I don't trip over it. I'm just going to show you something a little bit different as far as those squats go. Because again, those of you who find they may be slightly weak here, you may find having a band like this around these legs. I've got it around my lower legs, but you can put it around your thighs too. Adds a very different set of things to our sit to stand. So we can do 10 of these. Again, you've got to really work to keep those knees in line with that big toe. Again, we don't have to go all the way down. We don't have to push those arms in front of us. I sort of like it as a security blanket. Good. And 2. I'm not sure if it's 2. I reckon it's more like 4. 3, 2, and 1. And in the same way, if you wanted to make this more challenging, we can take our light weights, tins of beans, and we can actually take our squats like that as well. So remember, when you're taking this band off, it's a really good idea to sit down. Sometimes if we put our head below our heart, we get dizzy, and you just don't want to get dizzy with a band securing your feet. So just try and think what might happen, not, oh, it will never happen to me. Okay, let's do the next one again then. Let's do those calf raises. So, she says, if you have got to the point where you've had enough, stop the video now. We can build up to the second set of 10 whenever you feel ready, really. So, let's see. What we're aiming to do, and what I didn't say at the start, is to do these exercises to see a real difference in your leg strength at least twice a week. So that's the government recommendations for building strength. So, let's see if we can do these 10 calf raises. Now again, you may be looking for a way of making these more challenging once you get better. So I'm going to show you just something here. Just see if you can see. I'm lifting both legs, and then I'm going to see if I can take my weight onto one leg. I'm going to lower down on that left leg. I'm going to come up on both. I'm going to take my weight onto one leg. I'm going to lower down. Good. So what we're doing here is building strength. It's just slightly more challenging than doing them both together. Really excellent way. Good. Up, take one foot onto tiptoe, then we're coming down. What I would recommend is you have this chair for balance. Good. And then of course, we can take single calf raises. Okay, there we are. I'm going to stop looking round. It's not good for my health, making me feel dizzy. And we're going to bring it. Let's see, again, making sure if you've done 10 on one leg, we do 10 on the other leg. Excellent work, everybody. We've got our step. So let me move the chair just over a little bit. I'm going to walk my feet a little bit. And I'm going to do 10 on the left, 10 on the right. So this time, I am going to just do it slightly differently. Driving through that heel. Good. And I've got that wall for balance if I need it. Very functional. Heel on the step. Knees bending in line with that second toe, that big toe. Chest is lifted. We got 5 more of these to do. Whoop. She says, I almost went then. I almost went there, chums. Could have been a YouTube sensation. Brilliant. 2 more on this leg. And remember, you only do as many as you feel comfortable. We may find that the only step we've got is too high or too low. If it's too low, don't worry, just still practice. If it's too high, I'm going to just show you something that we sometimes do. We just take the weight into that leg. We just gently, but don't be tempted to overdo it if it's too high. So we're going to do 4 more of these. 10 was my aim. Goodness knows if we've got there. Those of you who come to class with me will be used to this though. Roughly 10 I think is the key. And again. Okay. And then we're just going to walk it out. Let's take a little roll of those shoulders. nice there. I know it's not a shoulder workout. Okay, so last set of exercises, the side leg lifts. So I've shown you the leg lifts with the band. I'm just going to take the leg lifts without the band. I find that it's quite challenging, and my main challenge is working on just keeping that long spine. Good. Breathing out, not holding my breath. Super. We're just going to do a couple more on this leg, and then I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bring my chair to the other side, and we'll do a couple more on the other side. Wonderful. Good. So, we're thinking about that long spine. We don't have to take that leg really high. If this is as high as you feel comfortable, then that is fine. Okay. And when we've done our 10, we're just, and remember that way back down. We're not, control it back down. And then we're just going to walk it out. So we're going to remember to finish our leg strength exercises with some cool down stretches. So we're going to take a foot behind us. We're going to press the heel of that back foot down towards the floor. So this is all about those calf muscles. We want that heel at 6 o'clock, big toe at 12 o'clock. We're going to hold this for about 10 to 15 seconds. I'm just going to give you some very basic leg stretches. Okay, we can do a whole different section on flexibility if that will be popular. So we're just stretching those upper calf muscles. Good. Keeping that chest lifted. I keep looking at you, chums. It's no good. You need to look straight ahead. And then we're going to bring it in. And then holding on to something, we're going to see if we can take that stretch. Now this is our sort of base stretch. Remember, we can do it without, or we can hold on to the trouser leg, front of the trainer. Oh look, it's the DIY man come just to finish my my video for me. And then we're going to release, and we'll do the same on the other side. Keep that chest lifted, keep looking straight ahead. And bring it down. Okay, so I'm going to come in a little bit closer so you can hear me. It's the hamstring stretch next. So it's the back of the thigh. So we're going to make sure we're either sat down for this or holding on to something. Okay. So we're going to take that foot in front of us. And we're going to release. If we want to do it seated, we can sit down on our chair, take that leg in front. And it's a really effective way. And we're going to come all the way up. And then we're just going to take a little roll of those shoulders. Nice big stretch up. And as the sanding gets to its crescendo next door, I'll sign off. I hope you enjoyed that leg strength exercise workout. Enjoy.